For 2026, District, Zomato's lifestyle app, had big plans. It was going to bring Shakira to India for her debut tour. It was selling tickets for rappers like Kanye West and Flipperachi and even other high profile international acts. The goal was always clear. This was a way to break into a market that's had a singular gatekeeper for decades: Bookmyshow. Everyone knows this Reliance backed company. It organized Coldplay's 2025 India shows, and it said that the band's Ahmedabad concert alone generated more than 600 crore rupees in economic impact. So, booking some of these iconic international names seemed like the best way to disrupt that kind of legacy and momentum. But then the geopolitical situation started to look a little shaky. Soon, some events got cancelled, others were pushed, and for a business built on big, splashy events, this should have been a setback. But District wasn't shaken at all. In fact, Akshant Goyal, Eternal CFO, said on the company's April earnings call that events are just a part of the company's business and that a few delayed concerts would not impact its outlook. You see, that confidence is not built on nothing. In fact, it's grounded in some pretty strong numbers. In FY26, which was District's first full financial year since its launch in August 2024, it crossed almost 1,000 crore rupees in revenue. Now, that is just less than 2% of Eternal's top line. But in that same amount of time, District's weekly active users have also grown to over 60% of Bookmyshows. And that's a company with a 2-decade head start. Now, that's partly thanks to the fact that District wasn't really building from scratch. Part of its revenue and user base comes from Paytm's entertainment ticketing business called Insider, which Eternal acquired in 2024. And then there's the ongoing IPL. It just added more fuel to District's rise when District became the exclusive ticketing partner for 5 out of 10 teams and is now selling tickets for nearly half the league's 70 matches, which is a lot more than Bookmyshow's 25. But here's the thing. It might sound like District is in exactly the same game as Bookmyshow. Actually, it's not. An analyst who tracks the online event space told my colleague Suprit that while selling tickets is Bookmyshow's bread and butter, for District, it's just the butter. Its bread is something else entirely: the dining out segment. Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from The Ken. I'm your host, Risha Verghese, and every day of the week, my co-host Nikta Sharma and I will bring you one news story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Monday, the 25th of May. District's ambition is to own the entire outing business, and its strategy reflects exactly that. A former Paytm Insider executive compared it to a kind of funnel. There's always something for everyone. At the very top of the funnel are the mega global concerts. They might not be frequent, but they certainly grab headlines and pull the users. In fact, for Dua Lipa's 2024 concert, District sold nearly 30,000 tickets. Now it's selling Kanye West's debut India tour with tickets priced between 7,500 and 25,000 rupees. Then there's the middle layer, which has comedy shows, music gigs, and other nightlife events. The final layer has things like dining, activities, and sports events. And that's where the volume comes in. Because booking a badminton court or going out for dinner is a lot more everyday and happens way more often than, say, attending a concert. The former executive also explained that the idea is to have the top of the funnel drive attention while the bottom drives frequency, which means over the years, the business does look uneven by nature. Even the CFO confirmed that on the earnings call. You see, while Q3 is events heavy, Q1 is IPL heavy, and movies depend entirely on the release calendar. That results in pretty large quarter-to-quarter swings. Still, the growth is real. Paytm Insider, which was rebranded and folded into District, generated almost 300 crore rupees in FY25. District's revenue has actually quadrupled since then in just a year. Even then, profitability is actually not the immediate goal for District. You see, District's EBITDA losses widened more than 70% in the latest quarter, and it's actually expected to stay in the red through FY27. But considering it has nearly 20,000 crore rupees in cash reserves, Eternal isn't at all worried. In fact, it doubled District's overall ad spend to more than 3,000 crore rupees in FY26. For now, the bet is on achieving scale first. Part of that scale already comes from a structural advantage that District has over Bookmyshow. Restaurants and Zomato's network already use District to manage listings, bookings, and payments. Many premium restaurants also host live events regularly, like the Garden Cafe and Bastion Garden City in Bangalore, for example, making them a pretty natural fit for the platform. Also, this kind of mutually convenient relationship extends to some planned events. For instance, the Dua Lipa and Shakira concerts were tied to Eternal's non-profit arm called Feeding India, which made those concerts CSR adjacent events where part of the profits would go to social causes. But as a previously quoted executive told Suprit, District still got a huge chunk of the revenue. And not just that, these big ticket events have helped District market itself and attract a large user base without worrying about specific acquisition costs. And these moves have already begun to show in the numbers. In the past year, District got nearly 24 million Google Play downloads, edging past Bookmyshow's 23 million. But you see, District is also thinking beyond the app. In fact, last year, it took over Terraform, which is a 16-acre, 17,000 capacity venue in Bangalore. The idea is to own the infrastructure in addition to the ticketing layer and monetize every part of the event experience. District also has plans for more such venues in other cities. And the urgency for this kind of a scale is real because the space is getting crowded. Swiggy, for example, has an events platform called Scenes that turned profitable in early 2025. Flipkart is also reportedly entering the movie and concert ticketing space this month. District, meanwhile, is still posting losses. Like I mentioned earlier, its EBITDA deficit has widened significantly in the latest quarter. You see, the window to establish scale is open right now, but it won't always stay that way. Stay tuned. District strategy looks different because the market it's entering isn't as open as it seems. Bookmyshow's strongest moat is in the fact that it controls over 70% of online movie ticketing, and that grip is very hard to break. It has long-term exclusive deals with multiplex chains like PVR, Cineplex, and Asian Cinemas. The former insider executive quoted earlier told Suprit, and I'm quoting here, these contracts run anywhere from 2 to 7 years, and they often involve upfront financial support. They require theaters to route most of the ticket sales through Bookmyshow along with sharing a portion of the convenience fee. Right now, India has around 10,000 active cinema screens, and nearly half of all tickets are still sold at the counter. That leaves about 5,000 screens for online platforms to compete over. But the online movie ticketing market in India is worth just $700 million. So, is it really worth fighting over? What worked for District is that it understood pretty early on that it's actually not. For the company, right now, movies are more like a feature, not the core business. It's part of the funnel, a reason for users to open the app, but that doesn't mean the app has to be built around it. Jitesh Agarwal, the founder of Tree Life, a consulting firm, said that District wants to become the default app for going out. It wants to start with casual dinners and weekend sports and go all the way to concerts. The idea is to tap into something people do every day. Events, meanwhile, serve a different purpose entirely. They drive visibility and attract sponsorships. Ticketing revenue is often kind of just a secondary stream. The Indian online event ticketing market is estimated to nearly double to almost $10 billion within a decade. Bookmyshow has leaned into this growth, both as a ticketing partner and the organizer behind some of the largest events. Last year alone, it brought in Coldplay and Guns N' Roses and even singers like Travis Scott and Ed Sheeran. This February, it also sold tickets to John Mayer's debut India show in Mumbai. In FY25, Bookmyshow Live, which produces its events, generated more than 500 crore rupees in revenue, according to the company's filings with the MCA. It's expected to up its game in FY26, courtesy of all the events it has already organized. But the thing is, events are harder to monopolize than movies. Because artists can choose their ticketing partners and organizers can easily switch platforms. Add to it the fact that Bookmyshow has faced criticism for weak customer support and organizer support, that leaves a door wide open for District. Even though right now District might still be half of what Bookmyshow is in revenue terms and still making losses, in 2 years it has still gone from being pretty much non existent to an actual formidable threat. And it managed that not by trying to play by its rival's playbook, but by writing a different one altogether.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of The Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription offers daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and a whole bunch of premium podcasts. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on the top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted and produced by my colleague Rachel Varghese and edited by Rajiv Sien.